A student athlete left seriously injured after what a coach called roughhousing between more than a dozen teammates. And their parents were charged with capital murder. Tonight on the Nightbeat, we can give you an update on the other kids in the home of Jonathan and Cristina Miranda.
Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
A team scuffle gone way too far. One football player from Lytle High School recovering tonight after what coaches describe as a roughhousing incident earlier this week. We're told that 18 players were involved in that fight. The night team's Avery Everett now joins us live. So Avery, the team still played tonight even after all this happened?
They did, Stephanie. We're told the varsity football team played with a reduced number of players tonight, but Lytle ISD didn't want to outright cancel the game against Petite because it was parents' night for band, dance, and cheer. We're told as that student who was injured recovers, his mother says she needs more answers from the school district.
If it's a Friday and the home football team is playing, the stands here at Lytle High School are almost always full. But this week, some students are sitting at home because one team practice for the Pirates ended with the player injured.
I send him there hoping and thinking he's safe. And I just feel like they failed us.
Herminia Perez says it was her 14-year-old son, named Steven, who was hurt on Wednesday. In a letter sent from the Lytle High School head football coach Mike Trevino on Thursday, he says 18 players on the football team got into a, quote, roughhousing incident in the locker room. He says it went too far.
How is Steven doing?
He's in pain. He's hurting. He's not himself.
Herminia says her son has a concussion and bruising to his ribs, shoulder, and chest. She says it started with teasing in the weight room.
He goes into the locker room to take a shower, get ready to go to school. He says that they just start pushing him. And then he says next thing you know, he's on the ground. And he just feels all these bodies pile up on top of him.
When did it stop?
From what I know, it was when the coaches went in.
Because some of the students involved in this are minors, Lytle ISD tells us they will not be releasing details about disciplinary action. We were told, though, that everyone involved received some sort of suspension.
In that letter from the head football coach, Trevino says the team will participate in a mandatory community service day. He also says coaching staff already implemented new supervision and locker room procedures. But Herminia says she still feels uneasy.
At the end of the day, actions speak louder than words.
With her son still recovering, Herminia says she's looking to the school district to learn what happened.
I don't know anything because all I know was that it's under investigation and I will not have answers till next week.
Lytle ISD is on fall break through Monday. If we learn more about the consequences in this case, we'll keep you updated on air and on KSAT.com. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
A 14-year-old is dead and another 14-year-old is in custody after a shooting on the northeast side of Bexar County. Earlier today, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office was called in for a 14-year-old boy with a gunshot to his upper body. He was taken to BAMC, where he later died. Deputies say that they found another 14-year-old boy running into a home about a half-mile away from that location, and then they took him into custody. Sheriff Javier Salazar says that investigators found a handgun that they believe was used in this shooting. But investigators are still looking into a motive.
Any loss of life is heartbreaking, but when here in this instance we've got two young lives, one taken and one seriously affected through his own actions, of course, the suspect in the case, but over what? I can't imagine at present. I don't know what the motive is, but I can't imagine anything that would be worth what happened today.
We also don't expect to know the names of either the victim or the suspected shooter, since both of them are minors. Today, we heard opening arguments in the trial for the 3 former San Antonio police officers who shot and killed a woman back in 2023. Nathaniel Villalobos, Alfred Flores, and Eliezer Alejandro, all on trial for the death of Melissa Perez. You might remember that in June of 2023, Perez was having some sort of a mental health crisis when the 3 officers arrived at her apartment complex. Reports say that she was swinging a hammer at those officers as they tried to go into her apartment. Today, the defense argued that the officers' lives were at risk when Perez was swinging that hammer. But prosecutors argued that the officers didn't have a warrant to go into her home and didn't follow protocol, saying that Perez had every right to protect herself.
None of those 15 officers thought that after 78 correction, 2 hours and 30 minutes, no one thought about doing the constitutionally mandated thing of going to a neutral and detached magistrate and getting a warrant to breach Ms. Perez's home. It wasn't a consideration.
This case could have wide-set implications here because a lot of people are paying attention to this, and it could set precedent on how officers here in San Antonio and in other cities are trained. Villalobos is facing up to 20 years in prison, and Flores and Alejandro face up to life in prison if they're convicted. The trial resumes on Monday, and you can watch it live on KSAT Plus and on KSAT.com. We're learning new details in a child abuse case. The other children in the home of the two parents who were charged with capital murder and the death of their 10-year-old adopted son are now in foster care. The suspects are Jonathan and Cristina Miranda. The state's Department of Family and Protective Services confirmed to KSAT that they took the other kids into custody. They also told us that the kids showed clear signs of abuse. Neighbors who live near the Mirandas say that at least 4 other children lived in that home. Earlier today, Cops Metro was outside San Antonio City Hall protesting Prop B. Proposition B is going to ask voters in the November 4th election whether to take the money from the venue tax on hotel stays and car rentals and use up to $311 million of it to go towards the construction of a new $1.3 billion Spurs arena in the downtown area. The group flat out does not trust the deal because they think that there are hidden costs and say that voters deserve to know the real cost of Prop B.
To this end, our goal for today is transparency as we properly break down the cost of the plan. This November 4th vote starts a domino effect that will impact our San Antonio families.
Ultimately, Bexar County voters will determine what happens with Prop B, and Election Day is November 4th. Still ahead, nearly 3.5 years after the Robb Elementary School shooting, the new elementary school in Uvalde had its grand opening today, and we're going to take you to it.
Cooler, more comfortable mornings, the evenings feeling better as well. Low humidity, how long that lasts, and I'm still tracking a lot of moisture coming in from the Pacific and the western U.S. We'll show you where that ends up in just a bit.
This is about a really busy weekend, it just feels like, and we invite you to join KSAT tomorrow for a night of hope and remembrance at Blood Cancer United's Light the Night in San Antonio. It's happening at the Rock at La Cantera. It's a family-friendly event that honors those affected by blood cancers, also celebrates survivors, and shines a light on the importance of research. It's going to be fun. Adam's going to be there. There's going to be music, food trucks, and a remembrance ceremony before the walk, which takes place at 7:30 p.m. Free to go. You can also scan the QR code if you would like to donate to the cause. A bittersweet day over in Uvalde, where the public finally got to see the new elementary school that's been built in place of Robb Elementary, where 19 students and 2 teachers were tragically gunned down in 2022. That new school is called Legacy Elementary. The $60 million campus honors the shooting victims. There are tributes to them all over that campus, including a tree that's inscribed with all of their names.
I think it's important, as time goes by, things tend to fade a little bit. So we always want to make sure that we're never going to forget them. So that's really important. And I appreciate all the detail that was involved in all the different artifacts, different things that were done to the school.
And they're moving pretty quickly because teachers will begin moving into their classrooms next week, and students will start classes there on Monday, October 20th. In the meantime, taking a live look outside right now. Live cam. Happy Friday, everybody. We hope that you are just starting off and having a fantastic weekend. We know that tomorrow, the mornings are going to be, starting tomorrow, the mornings are going to be pretty chill.
Better. It's an improvement. That's the key. I mean, don't expect, that big, strong cold front yet, but minor improvements, baby steps there. So let's start with our morning temperature trend. Remember, earlier this week, we had morning lows in the mid-70s. Low to mid-70s. We're going to be in the mid-60s starting this weekend, lasting through next week. But keep in mind, that's still a little above average. The average low is 63 in San Antonio. Already cooling off nicely. Bernie 68. 74 Bulverde, 76 Floresville, still in and around the 80s within San Antonio, the urban heat island in full effect. But tomorrow morning we'll wake up to 64 in town, 59 Bernie and Bulverde, Seguin 61, Los Maples 61, Kerrville, Bandera 60. So a pleasant start to the day, and we can thank the dry air, the dew points now down in the 50s. So we're in that pleasant and comfortable category. Remember, 60 and up, that's when you start to feel the mugginess. 70 and above, that's just the tropical air that we get quite a bit in the summertime. And the dew points are going to remain fairly low and comfortable in that pleasant range, not just through the weekend, but even into a good chunk of next week. Now, I know it takes moisture and humidity to make rain, but we wouldn't even have a rainmaker overhead. They're being deflected around us. And the first is in the Four Corners region here, even Southern California getting in on some of the rain, the desert Southwest getting shower activity and even some flash flood warnings today. The remnants of what was Hurricane Priscilla a few days ago. And then we have Tropical Storm Raymond just on its heels, basically following the same path, headed off to the north, and the remnants of it, the rain-making energy, the mid and upper level moisture, headed into the desert Southwest. And I do think some of that will even hit parts of the Panhandle and parts of West Texas as well. So you look at the overall trend, and we're so accustomed to the big blue H, the upper level high. It just dominates when it's around. It deflects all the active systems around us, and you can just see that right here. And it created that funnel for the Pacific moisture, but then also a couple of systems dropping into the western U.S. with their own moisture and rain-making energy, and you see that coverage of rain from the Front Range of the Rockies westward all the way to the beaches of California. That's where the rain's going to be. It'll get as close as West Texas and the Panhandle, but that's about it. That's the remnants of Raymond. Now, no surprise here with the upper level high, temperatures running above average at least through October 20th, whereas where you have those disturbances dropping in from the north, pulling cooler air southward, below average and rainy in the desert Southwest and even California in the western U.S. 92 is our high today, the average 84. We're going to be above average for the foreseeable future. No signs yet of a real noticeable cold front, not even a sign of a weak one anytime soon. 64 in the morning, 86 at noon, 92 the high temperature. Low to mid-90s just about everywhere. A little bit cooler as usual in parts of the hill country. Fredericksburg, for example, 87, and Kerrville, 89. Then we just continue this stretch of weather all the way into next week. And I tell you what, Steph, it's going to actually be a challenge to even make clouds over the coming week.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'm just looking at that. I just hope that our high school football players get some fall weather that they can enjoy in, just because it makes the games a lot more comfortable. Anyway, tell us about tonight.
All right, so game of the week, New Braunfels at Bernie Champion. A heck of a football game. I'll tell you what, these are two of the top teams in district, and they both showed why tonight. It was a close game up in Bernie, and down in Stockdale, they were having some tailgating fun. We got it coming up.
We're the Charger cheerleaders, and coming up next on KSAT 12 is the Chargers versus the Unicorns.
New Braunfels at Bernie Champion is our game of the week tonight. Two of the top teams in District 13, 5A1. And you're taking a look at the exterior of Bernie ISD Stadium, the site of our game of the week between the undefeated and 5-0 Unicorns and the 3-2 champion Chargers. Let's get to those highlights, folks. And here's the home side champion Chargers taking the field tonight in this all-important district contest. Second quarter, Chargers QB Ryder Flugents goes over the top to a wide-open Brogan Dempsey, 31 yards, and the Chargers lead 7-0. The Unicorns respond. QB Levi Gola throws this one right at Photog Mark, and it's caught by Grant Franklin, 27 yards, and this game is tied at 7-all. Later in the quarter, same score. The visitors take the lead. Gola takes the snap, and he runs in from 3 yards out, and New Braunfels led 14-7 at halftime. Third quarter, the Chargers tie it up. Quarterback Ryder Flugents takes the snap, and he works his way into the end zone, and this one is tied at 14-all. The Unicorns retake the lead on this 23-yard touchdown run by Brock Stewart. Stiff arms his way into the end zone, and the Unicorns remain undefeated, 27-17.
First off, I want to thank our coaches. It was a rough battle. I mean, it was a dogfight, and I'm glad I get to fight with the boys on my team. I love these guys. These are my brothers, and we're all in this together. this game was about us. It wasn't about the other team. It's all about us. It's all about it. Playing for each other.
It was a tough battle, and I'm glad we came out with the win. Definitely started off a little rough in the first half, but we came back, made some changes, and we did our best in the second half, and so I'm just thankful that we came out with the win.
Now let's take things over to Rutledge Stadium, where the Wagner Thunderbirds were facing off against the Smithson Valley Rangers tonight. We start off in the first quarter. Rangers quarterback Ty Knutson hands the ball off to Caleb Hiegler. He stiff arms a man and takes it in for a 5-yard run, putting them up 7-0. Stay in the first. Knutson gets the snap and decides, take it himself. He makes a man miss and runs it in for a 13-yard touchdown. Rangers go up 14-0, and the scoreboard says Rangers win 48-7. All right, let's take it to Hero Stadium for Johnson taking on Reagan. The students always showing up, dressed out and ready to cheer on their teams. We're in the first quarter, no score. Rattlers on the goal line. Direct snap to junior linebacker Aiden Fernandez, and he scores from a yard out. Jaguars respond. Handoff to senior running back Ray Sean Hurt. Right up the middle for a 5-yard score, and your final from Heroes right now. Reagan is up in the fourth, 27-24. Some little Bulldogs running out with the varsity Bulldogs tonight in Somerset, where the Dogs faced off with the Canyon Lake Hawks. Canyon Lake ball. Quarterback Jace Wheeler throws, and he gets intercepted by number 5, Sonny Iming, to end that drive. That's number 5 picking on number 5, and Sonny is thinking about a pick 6, but the Hawks made sure that didn't happen as Sonny steps out of bounds. Moments later, Somerset turns that into points. Joe Torres scores from 8 yards out to make it 13-0 Somerset, and Somerset wins 23-7. The student section of Southwest Dragon Stadium was live tonight for the Dragons District Showdown with the South San Bobcats. Dragons ball, the handoff goes to number 41, Blaine Chesser, and he powers his way in for an 11-yard touchdown, and the Dragons lead 13-3. Dragons ball again after recovering a fumble, and the Dragons cash in. Number 11, Austin Diggs, breaks outside for a 23-yard touchdown to make it 20-3 Southwest Dragons, and Southwest wins 36-10. The Holmes Huskies and the Harlan Hawks are playing some high school football tonight out at the Gus. Holmes ball, quarterback Zach Torres throwing deep, but it's a little too far, and the Hawks' Jeremiah Jordan is there to pick it off, and he fights his way back for about a 15-yard return, and the Hawks are in business after that. Moments later, Hawks quarterback Aldrich Trotter unloads a deep ball and hits Xavier Smith in stride, 34 yards. Harlan leads at 7-0, and Harlan wins tonight 69-9. The Sotomayor Wildcats are looking to top the Stevens Falcons tonight at Ferris Stadium. Second quarter, Wildcats ball, quarterback Chauncey Moon. Well, he drops back, looks one way, then he throws a screen pass the other way to Cameron Grady, and he uses his wall of blockers to perfection, cruising into the end zone for a 24-yard touchdown, and the Wildcats are in control of this one, 27-0, and Soto wins at 48-17. Now we go over to Randolph, where the Rohawks were hosting the Marion Bulldogs. We start in the second frame, where a Marion fumble recovery kick-started this drive. Cade Pape throws a screen pass over to his running back, Tanner Otis, and he takes it 11 yards into the end zone to put the Bulldogs up 21-7. Staying in the second, Rohawks with the ball on the 1-yard line. Cody Howard gets the snap and pushes his way across the goal line, making it 21-14, and the scoreboard says Marion wins 49-21. We've still got plenty to go on this Friday night with the road trip and more scores, but first, let's listen to the Harlan Hawk Band. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Big Game coverage on this Friday night. Photographer Eddie Latigo was on the road trip for us today, starting the route with a stop in Stockdale.
Do you want some barbecue sauce?
Put me on the news!
The purse is over it.
Yeah, kids, you get to be on the news tonight. Stockdale in the middle of their efforts to win that T-Mobile 5G contest to upgrade their athletic facilities. Great start for our road trip. First quarter, Dilly hands it off to junior running back Abel Trevino, a 50-yard gain. Drive ends with this direct snap to senior fullback Juan Garcia at the goal line, and it's 7-0 Dilly, but Stockdale responds with a touchdown of their own from junior QB Coy Gann. 2-point conversion is good, and it's 8-7 Stockdale in the first. Moving on, next stop, Jack Lane Stadium for Poth hosting Cotulla tonight. Third quarter, Pirates up 15-6 when senior quarterback Major Luna, we love that name, fakes the handoff, takes it himself, tries to get to the outside, an 8-yard gain to keep the drive going. Then Major Luna zeroes in on his target in the end zone. The number 12 senior wide receiver, Antonio De Hoyos, 11-yard touchdown pass, 2-point conversions, good, and it was 23-6 Pope. And we departed. Let's check out the finals now from the road trip this week. Stockdale beats Dilley tonight 42-14, and Poth is a victor tonight 45-6. How about some other scores for you? We have Medina Valley beating Laredo Alexander 30-20. New Braunfels Canyon was 4 better than Clemens, 24-20. We've also got Bernie leading Harlandale in the fourth, 49-14. Alamo Heights beat Victoria West 54-42 on the road. John Jay beat Laredo Figueroa 35-6. Piper edging out Seguin 56-42. Man, that was a high-scoring game. Davenport shuts out Fredericksburg 23-0. Lavernia beats Port Lavaca Calhoun by a final of 38-3. We've also got Hondo beating Cole tonight 49-21. Natalia was 3 better than Nixon Smiley by a final of 18-15. And we've got Blanco beating Rogers 37-32, and Kennedy over Bloomington tonight 60-7. We'll have more big game coverage streaming live right after the night beat, so stay with us. The Red River rivalry is this weekend, and in less than 24 hours we'll find out who comes out on top. But before that, let's check in on Mary Rominger to see what food stood out at the Texas State Fair.
Larry, there's a ton of energy here on the grounds of the State Fair of Texas, less than 24 hours before OU and Texas kick off in the Red River rivalry. Now, the highlight for us so far has been trying all of the unique food. Check it out.
I dye my waffles crimson and orange, so that way they can compete against each other in line.
Which one do you take?
Well, I can't tell you that because that would alienate half my customer base. I will say that I went to this school.
Okay.
But I won't say what my preference is. How's that?
2 to 2.5 pound smoked turkey leg. We smoke it back home. Takes about 5 or 6 hours to smoke. Right there.
Right, that's the good spot. Okay.
That's a good piece.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you.
it. True innovators of fried sweets, but now the fried pickle bomb. Wow, that's so good.
Hey y'all, I'm Jonna with Fernie's Funnel Cake. It was this very machine. October 18th, 1987, I went into labor right here making a funnel cake.
Oh man, just one of a kind. All right, you can check out that full story on KSAT.com. We'll send it back to you in San Antonio, Larry.
Thank you, Mary. In the NBA tonight, the Spurs beat the Utah Jazz 134-130 in overtime. San Antonio is now 3-0 in the preseason, and the rookie Dylan Harper, he played tonight. In the WNBA Finals, the Aces beat the Mercury 97-86 to win that series 4 games to none. Nalissa Smith with the Aces is now a WNBA champion. That's right, Las Vegas has now won 3 of the last 4 WNBA Finals. So, and I'm being told in high school football, Reagan and Johnson, that they are going to overtime.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. I'm still stuck on the Major Luna name because it is a good name.
It's a great name, yes.
The parents did you a favor. Great name. All right, thank you. We'll be right back.